Hello everybody, welcome back, and I am the Tourniquet. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about Ash. He's off doing his own adventures, and apparently he was actually inspired by Ash defeated Jim, told everyone about, this battle that he had with Ash, and then left and to go train and all that good stuff. And then this Pieces person ended up taking over the gym in the meantime, okay, until Lieutenant Surge comes back. But in this episode was freaking awesome. I really liked the battle. I'm actually really surprised that they didn't mention anything about should Pikachu evolve or anything like that. They didn't even bring the question up, and I thought they would. But Pikachu, surprisingly, I just was really surprised that they didn't have Pikachu defeat Raichu, or maybe Raichu would defeat Pikachu and then they would have some big conflict about, the whole evolution thing. But no, not at all. They just had Pikachu and Raichu face off a little bit at first, but then Ash made this really weird decision, but I guess it was a smart decision to call Pikachu back and send out Gengar instead, because Gengar freaking destroyed Raichu. Holy crap. Really just showcase how powerful Gengar is. And he just, didn't even get touched by that Raichu. Just threw the Raichu every which way. Ice Punch, Psychic, Nightshade. I mean, pretty good, honestly, moveset we got from Gengar so far. So, honestly, Gengar looking very nice. The only thing I was kind of confused about was the fact that Electrode was able to hit him, because I was pretty sure that, I just feel like Electrode simply just rolling into Gengar, I feel like that wouldn't affect Gengar either, because that's just like a physical attack. I don't know. Maybe you guys could post in the comment section below. Maybe there's something else. Maybe it's a certain kind of move, a rock type move or something like rollout, or I don't know. That maybe that's actually the reason why it's affecting Gengar, and it's not just a body part trying to touch him, like Raichu's tail. But anyway, Gengar did very well. And then Pikachu, of course, did very well in the end by stopping Electrode's movement with his Iron Tail, and then, of course, finishing him off basically by Electrode using an explosion, but Pikachu protected himself using the Electro Web. So Electro Web is a lot more versatile the more we go on, because every single time he uses it, it just seems like he's using it in a different and unique way. So honestly, Electro Web looking good, looking better than Volt Tackle ever did, to be honest. So you guys can post in the comment section below your thoughts and feelings about this fight, to be exactly. I liked it. I loved it. I think it was great. Gengar, he's 50% right now. Of course, he also had the fight against Team Rocket, but people don't really count Team Rocket battles in regards to Ash's wins or whatever. But Gengar did his two big, so pretty nice victories. Ended up losing to Electrode only because he got hit over and over again with his little rollout attack or whatever the heck he was doing. Just like slamming into him constantly, and then finally using like a Thunderbolt or Thunder in order to officially knock him out. But honestly, I love Gengar. Oh my gosh, when he started laughing, in the middle of a fight against Raichu, because he's just destroying him, that was awesome. I like that touch. Fantastic. I love Gengar, dude. I am so happy. It still feels so weird to me that Ash has a Gengar, but it is so nice and so satisfying. And then Pikachu, of course, ends up defeating Electro. And then something I also noticed is that there was over 10,000 people that entered the league or something like that. And so once Ash defeated this, this gym leader, since both characters, Ash and Pieces, are competing in the World Championship, Ash went up to about a 3,000 something rank, so Ash is already in that Great Ball area, whereas Pieces, I guess, lost some rank points because, she lost to a lower ranking trainer. Someone had just entered Ash Ketchum, So with that being said, she's probably going to have to work harder and have some more victories elsewhere. And maybe we'll see him fight her again. Maybe we'll see Lieutenant Surge maybe later on, and Ash actually fighting, some old gym leaders, perhaps. That would be pretty cool to actually compete. And maybe, I'm a little confused, but it was nice that they brought up that the gym badges are separate from this whole thing, and that gyms could have a couple different roles, basically. And maybe it was just the trainer herself, maybe not the gym, but the trainer herself was part of the tournament. Maybe not the gym itself, so maybe it's separate. So maybe he can go have an official match against someone that's not a gym leader, right, but is in the tournament. And, that little Rotom drone comes down and records the match. And if Ash wins, then obviously he goes up a rank, or just the other person goes down a rank, or maybe they juggle, what victories did you have, how many, etc. And I guess make some sort of ranking out of that, it seems. So Ash is so far, I mean, he won his first match, so he's going upwards. I want to know if he ever will have like a rematch against someone that he loses to, or if he will just have to go to the next trainer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, knowing Ash, like, it just feels unlikely that he won't, you know, want to have a rematch. But like, I mean, this character, you know, Pieces, like, I would think that maybe she would want to have a rematch later in the future and try to get her rank back or whatever. So, who knows? Now that we have these battles going, these official battles, and climbing the ranks and all that, and we kind of get a layout for how it works, you know, like the more trainers you defeat, the higher level that they are, you know, what their rank is compared to yours, and how much you get boosted because, you know, for defeating them and stuff. I think now that this is a lot more clarified, I am a lot happier and excited about this series. I mean, I thought it was a pretty laid back and cool series. I mean, just to see how things go, you know, he got some pretty nice Pokemon, Dragonite and Gengar, and so I was okay, you know, a pretty good solid series. But honestly, now that we're actually seeing their goals come into fruition, and Ash, you know, competing and doing all these amazing battles, and these battles are awesome. So honestly, this series could honestly be the best one yet. I mean, Go could be the best companion, Ash's goal and competing against a champion, Leon, and maybe even potentially defeating him and becoming the world champion, like the best, greatest trainer in the world, okay, because he has to beat Leon in order to be considered that. So that's gonna be his goal for this series, and if he fails, he's gonna end up probably doing it next series too, because if he wants to be the Pokemon master, he's gonna have to be the best battler in the world, and the best battler is Leon, so he has to defeat Leon. It only makes sense that it's going to happen, you know, especially by the next Pokemon games where there's a new champion or new region, whatever. I just think that he's gonna have to defeat Leon, and it's going to happen, or they're just gonna completely forget about it for some reason, and they're just gonna be like, oh, you know, World Championship just doesn't matter anymore. And then I just don't think I don't think that's right, essentially. If this is like the tournament that declares who's the best in the world, Ash is gonna have to constantly compete in it, even if he loses, you know. So, you guys can post in your comment section below your guys' thoughts and feelings about this. Let me know. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in the next one. Love your faces. Subscribe if you have not yet. And peace off. Thank you very much.